We have with us Puneet Bhasin, and she's an expert at cyber law and data protection. And she's the founder at Cyberjure Legal Consulting. Ma'am, we have a few cybersecurity related questions for you. What do you think are the emerging trends into cybersecurity in the coming year of 2024? And how do you think, the laws in India should be, changing in terms of cybersecurity?
Well, at the outset, with respect to laws, it is quite difficult for a law to remain 100% up to date, especially in a technological era where everything is constantly changing. So, when you're talking of technology, your laws, yes, the Data Protection Act is already enacted, Digital India Act post elections would be considered already, that has been announced, and then accordingly the deliberations, that's still a long way, but there would be a lot of deliberations on that. So we are in that direction, and under the Data Protection Act also there will be multiple rules. So yes, we are moving towards adequate laws and legislation in this space. Now comes the question of implementation and compliance. So as individuals, as organizations, we need to understand our responsibilities and duties under the law, and that's the only way forward that would be there. With respect to the trends, with respect to cyber crimes or security breaches that can happen in the upcoming year of 2024, with respect to individuals, I predict there would be more AI based frauds. So, wherein whether it would be with respect to voice, whether it would be with respect to morphing of photos. So, use of AI with respect to a large number of cyber crimes, which earlier did not have the element of AI. So, AI tends to make them more convincing, and these offenses tend to lead to better results for hackers. So that is a emerging trend that I'm seeing, and I think that will pull on a lot in 2024 until and unless individuals are fully educated about this and don't fall prey to that. For organizations, I think most of them are already Indian organizations suddenly are in the prime for data breaches. That was one of the key reasons why this act was enacted in a hurried fashion. So yes, the trend is still going to continue, wherein Indian organizations are still targeted a lot for their data. The financial organizations are highly targeted. So that trend is still going to continue. Thank you.
One more thing I wanted to ask, since India has been, lately, India has been targeted into a lot of data breaches. Like, for example, we had the data breach of a lot of Aadhaar card data breaches. Like, it was, I guess, 8.5 million records were leaked. Then we had this Taj Hotels data breach. So how do you think the laws in India should be shaped in order to, reduce instances like these?
Well, the law in India is already there. So the Data Protection Act is already there. Now, the organizations need to take all the requisite steps under this. And with respect to prosecution of organizations which are failing to do so, so there is already a penal scheme that is there under the Data Protection Act. Before the adjudicating officer for unauthorized access, there is a compensation remedy. Under the criminal law, there is a regular remedy which is there with respect to negligence, failure to protect data, etc. So, a individual also has a remedy to register an FIR and further initiate legal action. So, there is a three-prong remedy already available.
One more thing, madam, how do you think awareness plays a role into, cyber securing companies nowadays? And how do you think companies should understand, there should be more awareness regarding consequences? Like, for example, if a company owner has got their data breached, so it is not just the breach of the company's data, it is the breach of somebody's personal data also. So how do you think companies should be aware of the legal consequences that they can face, and how they should be training their employees to reduce the chances of such breaches?
See, if you would have asked me this question 5, 10 years back, it would seem that, oh, awareness is needed. Today, almost every organization knows the implications of a data breach. The problem that happens is they do not keep budgets with respect to actually implementation of cybersecurity. So the same thing had to be in marketing, advertising, where they can see, traction in terms of returns immediately, is where organizations want to invest. So they don't consider cybersecurity or data protection as investment avenues because they cannot see turnover increase happening because of that. So the only time when actual, you could say, steps will start is when the penalization starts. So when there are penalties to the tune of 150 crores, 250 crores, so when you see the money depleting in the organization, is when automatically that awareness and compliance that will rise.
Another thing I wanted to ask was like, how do you think, the cybersecurity trends are going to change? Like, what are your predictions for the coming times, and most like focused being the year of 2024? How do you think cybersecurity is going to, like, cybersecurity laws are going to take a turn in terms of India as well as abroad?
See, well, in 2024, I personally do not predict the Digital India Act to be enacted. It's going to take a lot more time because it requires a lot more deliberation. Yes, the Data Protection Act is enacted. There will be rules that will come under, and active compliance will start. Active prosecution will also start. So, for organizations, that's going to be a major changing point where they have to change their entire business practice to align with privacy. So, from the concept of a development of a product to the marketing methods to everything within the organization. So that is going to be a sea change that will be there from the cybersecurity perspective. So obviously, when you're talking about securing data, there have to be multiple tools that are used, cybersecurity tools that are to be used, data security tools. So organizations will proactively start adopting this. Now, obviously, when the data protection board is also going to be standing on everybody's head, it's just going to happen. So it will become privacy by design for organizations, hopefully by the year 2024 end.
Madam, one more thing. The last question was that since companies, like a lot of companies and businesses, have started to train their employees in terms of cybersecurity, like how to maintain cybersecurity amongst the company systems. But how do you think the employees and the organizations should be trained with the cyber laws as well, so that like they are aware of the consequences, and how do you think the awareness about these laws should go?
See, well, I would say for a normal individual to grasp the entire legal regime and the legal recourse would be difficult. But yes, there should be small modules that are there where not only they're taught about cyber hygiene, but also what the implications of their act could be. So the legal implications in very simple ways should be explained so that, an employee doesn't take it lightly.
Thank you so much.